Welcome to Giants Training Camp Report. I'm Anita Marks here with John Schmoke today. And John, an exciting practice today just for the fact that it's the first practice in pads.
And you know the coaches are excited about it, Anita. Guys can look great in shorts. The coaches know they can run in shorts. They know about their athleticism, even what they can do in the classroom. But what makes a football player is how he plays when he's delivering a hit or afraid he's going to get hit. This is when coaches find out what guys are really made of in pads in practice. I know Coach Coughlin was psyched for tonight. It's going on behind us right now.
Well, they say it separates the boys from the men, right?
No question.
Two key players from last season not here today, and of course that's Kevin Boss and Steve Smith. Eli Manning addressed the media today about those two players.
I've talked to both of them, and so, they're just trying to figure things out. Obviously, Kevin's, a little bit more urgency to that one. Just because he can come back and start practicing right away, and as soon as we sign him, hopefully starting tomorrow. So and getting the tight end, Steve still has some more rehab and to do, and wouldn't be able to come in and probably because of the injury practice right now. Hopefully those things get worked out soon and we can get him back here.
Well, John, the Giants did go out and they signed tight end Ben Patrick. However, that still leaves the door open for Kevin Boss. There's still an opportunity for him to be a part of this roster.
Oh, the Giants want him back, indeed. There's no doubt about it. And even Ben Patrick, when he addressed the media today, said he wants to play with Kevin Boss. Patrick is not the new starter. He's a complimentary piece. He's not a pass catcher. He's a blocker. The Giants still want Kevin Boss back, but at the right price. You saw the waiting game they had with Ahmad Bradshaw before he came into camp. Now we're going to have the same thing with Kevin Boss. The Giants hope he's here very, very soon.
And with the absence of Steve Smith, Eli Manning had an opportunity to talk to the media about the battle at the wide receiver position.
I haven't done a whole lot of that package yet, and so just got into it a little bit the other day, but still very, very new and very fresh. So we're going to try to work a lot of guys and hopefully get a lot of guys comfortable with that, where you can still move different guys. Where there's Mario or Akeem and. Last year we got in a bind when we lost Steve. None of those guys really worked in there. We said, hey, Steve's a slot guy. He's the best at it, and so you work, him only. And when he went out, a lot of guys weren't comfortable being in there. So trying to, work a number of different guys and see who can come in and do the best job in the slot.
John, Steve Smith was so money in that slot position, especially on third downs. One of my favorites was last season, again this season, Victor Cruz. I think he might look mighty fine in that slot position.
I'll tell you what, Steve Smith, impossible to replace, and there are tons of guys that could help fill that sizable void, and Victor Cruz is one of them, and he's been one of the bright spots so far in camp, catching everything that goes near him. I talked to Sean Ryan today, loves the way he goes after the ball in the air. Know he's going to go after it. Other options, Jarrell Jernigan, the third-round pick, the rookie. He's from a spread offense, a little bit raw. And remember, the slot receiver position is complicated. You have to make a lot of visual reads in Kevin Gilbride's offense, so that's going to take a while for him to get used to. Then you have Ramses Barden. He could play outside. You could slide Mario Manningham into the slot. Barden's still injured. He's not in training camp so far. Even a guy like Devin Thomas, who was brought in midway through last year, he's showing a lot of promise this year, a lot of speed. The Giants have a lot of options at wide receiver. Remember, Steve Smith is still unsigned. When he comes back, he still has that knee as well, so he probably won't be ready to practice. The Giants need to find an answer in that slot position. One of the huge things to watch during camp.
And keep an eye on Victor Cruz. Let's talk about the defense. And another player, unfortunately, not on this roster, Dion Grant. We know that Perry Fewell loved to use that three-safety system.
What was it called again?
We called it the Ghidra. She called it the Ghidra. Well, Paul Dottino really called it the Ghidra. I just followed his lead. But nonetheless, somebody's going to have to step up if, in course, Perry Fewell is going to play that defense again. And safety coach Dave Merritt gave us just the guy.
Terrell is the one. Terrell Thomas is the one. And so, I'm not going to give too much credit to the rookies right now. There are some rookies that we're looking at, and hopefully they can step up, be it at the linebacker position or the safety position with Sash. But right now is Terrell Thomas that we see fit that can go in and help us with those particular packages.
I felt me not making the Pro Bowl last year was the reason why we didn't make the playoffs. I took it personal. I think everybody has a role on this defense, and I felt like, I was able to make plays, but some plays I could have made or I should have made that I didn't make. And I had a long off season to, look at that, to watch film and, look at plays I should have made or my inconsistencies in certain situations. So I'm just really just trying to take my game to the next level, be somebody that's going to be very accounted on this defense and, somebody the coach can call on.
I'll tell you what, Terrell Thomas, some hefty expectations going into this season. Pro Bowl or bust, John.
And he had a breakout year last year. It should be Pro Bowl or bust for Terrell Thomas. Quite frankly, he deserved to be in the Pro Bowl last year. He was probably the team's best corner. He led the team in interceptions, and now there is a void here. You know how much they loved to play 3 safeties last year in that very special nickel package. Terrell Thomas will move inside. He'll cover the team's often their best wide receiver in the slot. It's the toughest position to play. But here's the difference. He also has to offer a lot of run support. Terrell Thomas is a bigger corner, and he's a tough guy. He doesn't mind mixing it up. He should be able to fill in for Deion Grant pretty well. When he moves inside in it, you'll have either Aaron Ross or if Prince Amukamara ever gets into camp, he's a guy that can play outside as well once Terrell Thomas moves into that slot position.
Some other Giants news and notes. They do bring back running back Andre Brown.
Yeah, he was a draft pick of the Giants a couple years ago. He tore his Achilles tendon 2 training camps ago. He came back last year. Couldn't quite make it back all the way and make the team. He picked up with Denver for a little while, but he's back with the Giants now. The Giants hope he can get into the running back mix for that 3rd or 4th spot. And then, of course, another signing today was Stacey Andrews, brother of Sean Andrews. The Giants love these Andrews brothers.
They sure
and
do.
It's a very valuable signing. The guy can play tackle. He can play guard. He has started in this league for a long time. Last 2 years, maybe not up to par, but he certainly gives the Giants a lot of depth behind Chris Snee, David Deal, and Will Beatty.
And, of course, Giants fans have to be thrilled that Ahmad Bradshaw is back with the Giants. Much anticipation about him being able to practice tomorrow, which is Thursday. However, quick note, if the collective bargaining agreement is not signed and finalized, then free agents will not be able to practice tomorrow, John.
Well, everyone expects that to happen.
Right.
And we talked about Coach Coughlin being excited for the pads tonight. Well, I'll tell you what, he's even more excited about finally getting all his players on the field tomorrow. Kiwanuka is eligible to practice. Bradshaw, Bear Pasco, David Carr, Stacey Andrews. The list goes on and on. They really haven't been even practicing with 3 teams so far in camp, just 2. Having all these guys back tomorrow give the Giants tons of flexibility their coaching staff has been dying to have since camp started.
Well, I'm excited. Of course, we'll be here throughout training camp. He's John Schmelk. I'm Anita Marks, and make sure you tune in tomorrow for another Giants training camp report right here on Giants.com.
Oh,